Hey guys, E here, Evan here, once again bringing you another Master Hero deck profile. As you can probably see, I'm trying some new stuff. I'm trying out a new camera, and I haven't really found a better angle than this. So sorry guys, but this is the angle you have to deal with for today. So I'm sorry I haven't brought you a hero profile in a few months. I've been really busy with school and work recently. But I feel like this build is good enough to I feel like this spell is good enough so that I could bring you this deck profile now. This is going to be for after release of Tree Toad or Totally Awesome as it's called now. I don't own any yet, but I hope to get some sometime either this week or next week. Now this is the deck profile for Masked Heroes. Starting off the list, it's the 3 Shadow Mists, HA Boss Monster, Triple Bubble Man, Triple 10. 3 tins needed right now because you need to make Bahamut Shark as fast as possible, and 10 Goldfish gets to Bahamut Shark faster. 1 Goblin Bird because he's searchable through Rhoda, and if you choose to play things like Blade Armor Ninja or Heroic Champion Excalibur, he's a warrior to help you make those. I'm only playing 1 Summoner Monk. I haven't really liked tuning this deck for the past few months. One's been working out fine, and I like keeping spells in my hand. The only spell I really want to discard off this thing is a Hero Lives. And for the last 2 monsters, I played 2 Maxi. One problem this deck really suffers from is that this deck is usually terrible at going second, due to back row, your opponent already establishing a field and things like that. Maxi helps out you going second game a little bit, but if you happen to draw it, you can potentially go a little plus. And that's it for the monsters. For the spells, Triple Hero Lives, one of the most important cards in the deck, self-explanatory. Triple E-Call, and 1 Rhoda to get you to your monsters faster. Triple Mass Change. Double Instant Fusion. I was playing three copies of this card for a while. Took the 3rd copy out earlier this week. Since since I don't own Pot of Desires, I don't feel like 3 is needed, since you don't have a chance of banishing one of your copies of this card. So I feel like if you don't have Pot of Desires, 2 is good. You don't need 3. 3 is still really good though, but I wanted the space for something else. And Instant Fusion was the 3rd Instant Fusion was the first thing I thought about cutting. Now, these next 4 cards may seem a little weird. But it's the combination of 2 Twin Twister and 2 Cosmic Cyclone. It's really common to see double Twin Twister in a hero deck, or even 3 Twin Twisters, but Cosmic Cyclone isn't really seen in the TCG all too much yet. The reason why I'm doing 2 of each is because this is mainly based off theory and some of the results I've seen from OCG deck profiles of heroes on YG Organization. Nearly every hero deck I've seen on YG Organization for the OCG mains 2 to 3 Cosmic Cyclones, and they would either side Twin Twisters, 2 to 3 copies of it, or not even play it at all. The reason why I'm playing 4 total copies of these cards, because as I said earlier, this deck struggles a lot going second, and back row removal helps out tremendously when going second to get rid of those Fog Blades, get rid of those strikes, get rid of those anti-spells. And the reason why I decided to go with Cosmic Cyclone over things like MST, because Cosmic Cyclone banishes the spell trap that you target with it. So if it's like a Fog Blade while you don't have Dark Lob, or a Cosmo Town, you just get rid of it immediately and they don't get a chance to use their other effects. And the reason why Cosmic Cyclones are used over more Twin Twisters, because sometimes you don't have anything to discard off it, so like if you try to resolve a Bubble Man play, you just have nothing in hand, so you have nothing to discard to activate a Twin Twister. And Cosmic Cyclone is good because you don't need to discard anything. The only bad part about it is that you need to pay 1,000 life points. This deck pays a ton of life points to other cards. But I feel like the card I feel like it's worth it. Something else that may seem a little strange is 2 Book of Eclipse. Nearly every OCG hero deck I've seen mains 2 to 3 copies of this, and if it doesn't main 3, it signs the 3rd. I feel like the reasoning for this card is because of ABCs and, to a lower extent, Blue Eyes and DDD. And the reason why it's so good is because if your opponent establishes a board, if you go seconds, you can just activate Book of Eclipse and just take down the board one by one. Also, this card's pretty good going first to if you just draw it set, then disrupt plays during your opponent's turn if you don't have a Darklop or a Fleazy or something. Still, the main point of this card is just to help break down boards, because the way this game works right now, in my opinion, if you go first, you pretty much win. If you go second, you almost always lose, because if they establish a board that they can't break through, you pretty much lose. And this card just helps you get rid of that problem. Same thing goes for a Geki. So going second card breaks down boards. Really good with Darklaw. Self-explanatory. And for the traps, the trap lineup has changed a lot since my last deck profile, since there are things that right now I feel are like a little outdated or a little unneeded. Start things off, only one Call of the Haunted. This card is amazing going first, but going second, not too much, and I want to minimize cards that are either amazing or terrible going first or second. It's like if I happen to go, if I play two of the card and I happen to go second and draw into both, then it really sucks, because then I can't use that immediately. And if you draw traps, if you go second, you're pretty much going fourth. For the next set of traps, it's the trap holes. And I'm playing one Bottomless, one Floodgate, one Nightmare, and one Treacherous. Treacherous is a trap hole that hero decks in the TCG haven't been playing as of recently, but it's still a really strong card in OCG Masked Heroes, because if you make the turn with Fleasia, you have no traps in your graveyard, and Treacherous is just a really good card all around. I'm going first. So if your opponent does like the Proton Thrasher to Union play, just Treacherous both of them away. It's no big deal. The part where if I have traps in the graveyard, I can't use it, hasn't really been too big of an issue for me at all. And if it does become an issue, I can just pitch it off things like Twin Twister, I set as a bluff, and things like that. And the reason why I'm playing Traptrix Trap Hole Nightmare is just to serve as kind of like another copy of Solemn Strike that I could use from the deck with Ecclesia. Cut Floodgate down to 1 because I want to play the other trap holes, and Bottomless is Bottomless. If they summon like a Assault Core, just Bottomless it, and it's pretty cool. For rest of the traps, 1 Warning, Double Strike. I want to try out Third Strike, but I only have 2, and 2's been working out fine. And for the last card, the deck is Wine Benny's Emptiness. And in case you've been encountering the cards in the deck, it's a 41 card deck. I don't really like 40 in Heroes all too much, because there are things I just don't want to draw into. Like some of the trap holes, I don't really like drawing the Shadow Mist all too much, because I'd rather search it out. Like Heal Lives, Rhoda, or E-Call. And for Mashing, I just want to search it out through Shadow Mist all the time. There are things from the main deck that you may like that I'm not playing, such as things like Soul Charge, Mass Charge, Foolish Burial, Blackwing Zephyros, another Monk, Quaking Mirror Force, Phantom Knight Swords, things like that. Some of those things I just don't like. Some of them I feel are a little bit outdated, and some things just aren't good for the format. If you want to know more about my opinion on the cards, feel free to ask in the comment section below. But for now, let's move on to the extra deck. It's double Darklaw, Anki, Acid. Acid may not be needed all too much anymore, so he is able to be cut. I've cut him in the past, and it hasn't really been an issue. So just know, if you need something to cut, Acid is something you can cut. The One Norden, Castel, to Utopias, Flasia, Dweller, Samurai. Samurai is really good because OTKing is always a really good option if you can, especially with all the backward destruction this deck has. Also, Samurai's other effects, where if they attack into one of your other monsters, you can change Samurai to defense and make it the new target. That can be pretty relevant since Darklaw is pretty low stat-wise, Tree Toad's pretty low stat-wise, and this thing just helps out by protecting them by battle. 1 Emerald, because recycling Bubble Man is huge in this deck. Then rounded out the 1 Bahama Shark and 2 Tree Toads. These should be Tree Toads, but as I said before, I don't have any. So these are my amazing Lugia proxies for right now. Tree Toad is just... why does it exist? Tree Toad is too good. Just Solemn Judgment sets it to your own side of the field by tributing itself. Then just add one water monster from your graveyard back to your hand. So like Norden, Tin Goldfish, Bubble Man, or even itself. Or Bahama Shark if you really want to. The card is dumb, shouldn't exist, but heroes can make it and abuse it, so it's really good for the deck. And for the side deck, this is all just based off theory and seeing what's topping. I barely test anymore. I just barely play at all to begin with. Since I now work at my locals, I don't really enter the tournaments anymore. I run the tournaments instead of playing them. So this is all based off theory. And a little bit of testing. And seeing what OCG decks do. Based off of their format that was similar to this. When they had ABCs and full power Malifaux. Started off 2D Crow. I wasn't playing these for a while. Put them back in earlier this week. No idea how they would perform as of right now. But I like them for the Blue Eyes matchup. And for PK5 if anyone still plays that. Triple Gam Seal, because they're just things you need to get over, and this card needs cards for going second. This deck is great going first, but going second, not so much. Gam Seal helps out a lot with that. Triple System Down for ABCs, also good against rogue things like Cosmo and Dynamist. Triple Anti-Spell for going first against nearly everything really, but mainly pendulums. You can say I didn't going first against ABCs, but since I can easily add it through things like Diamond Direwolf and Castell. And Triple Typhoon, this is for going second against pendulum decks, like Malifaux especially. And I haven't tested it out yet, but I feel like this card can be decent going second against ABC as well. Because if they go first, set up the Union Hanger, have a few back row, then during your standby phase, they flip up Anti-Spell, you can just chain this Typhoon. So I feel like it could be pretty good going second against them, just for another out to Anti-Spell, or can even destroy Union Hanger if you need to. And for the 15th card, on a side note, I was watching my friends, one of my friends here deck profiles earlier today. Shout out to Summon Skull 06. I was watching his deck profile earlier today, and for this last card, he also played it. I haven't talked to him about this card in a long time, but somehow we both ended up on it, and it's just one copy of Unwavering Bond. I need a 15th card. This card seemed really appealing since it just outs Kieran immediately. So once again, we both ended up on this card. I don't know how he ended up on it, but that's how I ended up on it. Just something fun to try out. But thank you for watching, everyone. This has been my Masked Hero deck profile for post-Invasion of Vengeance, or Invasion of Vengeance, whatever the poo is called. It's still Invasion of Venom to me. I just been playing this game all too much recently, and when I do play, it's barely been with heroes as well. I've been trying a lot of stuff out with ABC, since I had everything for it. Why not just get the deck? I've also been trying a lot of stuff out with decks like Black Wings, Dark Synchro, what else? Clownblade as well is super fine. I also picked up Cosmo. But as always, I'll have a picture of the deck and the deck list in the description below. Thank you for watching, guys. Any comments, questions, concerns, qualms, please leave them in the comment section below. And also, please comment to saying what kind of content you want to see in the future. So I'm open to recording things like duel videos, profiles for other decks, profile my friends' decks like I did in the past 2 videos. If you haven't watched them yet, please go watch them. 2 of my friends did really well at our Invasion of Vengeance box tournament. Once again, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time.